hour. Then we'll turn it over to K2CMT Mike in DeBerry, Florida, and he'll take out the second hour. And on the log today, we have KE8PKY Vicky up in Lambertville, Michigan. This is net number 942 for the 10th of April, 2025. Question of the day was submitted by our buddy Roger, N4RHE, down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's, have you ever rented a storage unit? You ever rented a storage unit? Let me acknowledge the text check-ins, and then we'll go right to our mobiles. We had K4GDS Gil, KC2NJV Wayne, KA8BYU Roy, KE2EIO Michael, N9BBM Nathan, KD2YUY Charles, KD2ZJH Stephen, N6QDY David, KI6KQ0 Zachary, boy that's a mouthful, and KD9YUZ Jimmy and Wakarusa. Okay, let's go to the mobiles. If you're mobile and would like to join us this morning, please come with your call sign twice, and as always, slowly. Kilo Zulu 4, Juliet November. Kilo Zulu 4, Juliet November, mobile and in and out. Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot Bravo Mike. Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot Bravo Mike. November 3, Lima Alpha Delta. Whiskey Papa. November 3, Juliet Alpha Delta. Whiskey Papa. Good morning, mobile. Scott, N3 LID, in and out. Kilo Foxtrot 6, Hotel Delta Juliet. Kilo Foxtrot Hotel Delta Juliet, mobile. Alrighty, we'll hold it up there. That last station looked like they might have been coming out of Houston, Texas. You were all noise. You want to try it again, please? Kilo Japan 5, India Charlie Golf. Kilo Japan 5, India Charlie Golf. Oh, we got you that time, Gordon. We'll get back to you shortly. Anyone else mobile before I run the list? Please come now. Well, with nothing heard, let's go to the top of this list. We had KZ4, Cheyenne Anders in Gainesville, Florida, was in and out this morning. Thanks for joining us, Anders. Next, we have KO4 FBM, Jose in St. Cloud, Florida. Good morning, Jose, and have you ever rented a storage unit?
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, and the rest of the Morning Brew. Yes, I have. And for the rest of the day, I got a VA appointment coming up right now, a few hours from now. So back to you, Scott, 73. Wonderful day.
All right, thanks, Jose. Have yourself a good day and good luck with the VA. We had N3 LAD, Chuck in Northern Cambria, Pennsylvania, was in and out this morning. Let's go to KJ5 IWP, Steve in Abilene, Texas. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Scott, Vicky, and everybody on the crew. Hope everybody's having a great day. Have I ever rented a storage shed? Yes, I'm getting ready to empty it out and assemble a shed this weekend so I no longer have to do the place. Appreciate everything y'all do. 73 to everybody. Have a blessed day. KJ5 IWP. Back. All right, thanks, Steve. Have yourself a great day. Appreciate you joining us. KF6HTJ, Brent, down in Pensacola, Florida. Good morning, Brent. Oh, good morning, Scott, Vicky, and the rest of the brew crew. I have never rented a storage unit. I was lucky enough that my parents allowed me to fill their garage up with all my stuff when I came back from Korea. So back to net control. Everyone have a great day. KF6HDJ. Alrighty, thanks for joining us, Brent, and that was very nice of them. KJ5 ICG, Gordon in Richmond, Texas. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, Rinse, the brew crew. Yes, I have. There's been times between residences I had to get a storage unit, so yes, KJ5 ICG.
Alrighty, thank you, Gordon. Let me just recognize via the text we had KQ4UWF. Let's go to the top of these text check-ins. K4 GDS, Gil in Orlando, Florida. Good morning, Gil.
Good morning, Scott. Everyone on the brew. Yes, I have. Matter of fact, I have one now. Living in an RV. It's almost essential to have someplace else to stick stuff. K4 GDS, back to net.
Righty, Gil. Happy motoring, and thanks for joining us. KC2 NJV, Wayne in Belmore, New York. Good morning, Wayne.
Morning, Scott and the rest of the crew. I had a storage unit for about 6 months while we moved from an apartment into a house and was able to figure out where everything was going to go. Have yourself a wonderful day.
You too, Wayne. Thanks for stopping by this morning. Next up, let's go to the big metropolis of Blaisdell, New York, and KA8 BYU. Good morning, Roy.
Good morning, everybody. KA8 BYU. Yes, I have, actually, in 4 different states. The hazards of being moved around for a job. But, yep, I've done that. Back to you.
Alrighty, Roy. You and the kids have a good morning. Thanks for joining us. Let's go to KE2 EIO, Michael, down in Almond, New York. Morning, Michael.
Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, everybody. No, I haven't, even though I think I should have, but no, I haven't. Never rented a unit. It's KE2EAIO, 73 to everybody, and back to net control. Thank you.
Alrighty, Michael. Have a good day. Next up, N9 BBM, Nathan, out in Chicago, Illinois. Good morning, Nathan.
Good morning, everyone on the net. 10-9 BBM in Chicago. I have never rented a storage unit. Never have. Come real close, though. Hope everyone has a great day. Send it back to net control, 9 BBM.
Alrighty, thanks, Nathan. You have yourself a great day. KD2 YUI, Charles in Syracuse, New York. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody on the brew crew. And put me in the no category. If it doesn't fit, we get rid of it. 73 all back to net control. KD2 YUI. Alrighty, Charles, you have yourself a fine day and appreciate you joining us. This is W2BLT. Next up, KD2ZJH, Stephen in Brooklyn, New York. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, and the rest of the brew crew. Yes, I have rented a storage unit in my lifetime. And I hope everyone has a great day. This is KD2ZJH, back to net control.
Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate you joining us. Yeah, and as far as the storage unit, the fellow that submitted the question there, Roger, N4RHE, also said that the United States has 80% of the world's rental storage facilities. And he says, maybe we own too much stuff. Could be. N6QDY, David in Sacramento, California. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Scott, Vicky, and the Brew Crew. Yes, I have. I have rented a storage unit. Have a great day, everyone. Back to Net Control, N6QDY.
All right, David, and thank you for joining us so early out there this morning. KI6KQ0. Zachary, down in Kissimmee, Florida. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, and the rest of the Brew Crew. Yes, I have rented a storage unit. Fortunately, it was a short amount of time. So back to Net Control, KI6K73.
All right, Zachary, have a good day. Appreciate you stopping by. KD9YUZ, Jimmy in Wakarusa, Indiana. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Vicky, and good morning to everybody on the brew. No, I've never rented a storage unit. I've been incredibly lucky. I got enough buildings on the farm here to store all my treasures in. Everybody have a great day. KD9YUZ, back to Net.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate you joining us. Have yourself a fine day. Okay, let's go to a couple more tech check-ins here before we take generals. Let's go to KQ4, UWF, Brad, St. Petersburg, Florida. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott and Miss Vicky and everybody else. This is KQ4 UWF. Yes, my last duty station, I had to store some stuff until I could get a transport home. KQ4 UWF.
Alrighty, Brad, and yes, it is. Have a great day. And last on this list, K5RLR, Randall in Spring, Texas, via the Echo Link, I think. Good morning, Randall.
Well, good morning there, Scott and Vicky and everybody else on the crew, and Brother Scott out there if you're already listening. K5RLR. I would have to say yes. We've owned a couple of storage units over the years, but it's been a while. Hope everybody has a good day, 7320, and we'll see everybody again here tomorrow on the brew. Thanks for running the Net, Scott. We do appreciate it. K5RLR, back to you, sir.
Alrighty, Randall. Have yourself a great day. Alrighty, folks, let's take some general check-ins. Anybody anywhere? Please come with your call sign twice and slowly.
Kilo, Quebec 4, Oscar, Romeo Kilo, KQ4, or K-Mobile, in and out with a yes.
Good morning.
Kilo Mike 4, Whiskey Zulu Delta, KM4 WZD.
Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot Lima Juliet. Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot Lima Juliet.
Victor Echo 3, Kilo Delta 2,
Mobile, in and out.
Quebec, in and out. Victor Echo 3, Golf Juliet Papa, VE3GGB, in and out.
November 2,
Sierra Tango Juliet,
Lima Kilo.
Sierra Tango Juliet.
November 2, Victor Lima Kilo.
KQ4 UPK, in and out. Alrighty, let's hold it up there for just a moment. Let me recognize who we got here from the bottom up. We had KQ4 UPK, Chris in Fort Pierce, Florida, was in and out. We had W8 STJ Steve, N2VLK Jeff, N2ZGN Francis in Peru, New York. We had VE3 GJP Joel in Toronto. We had KE2 FLO Mike in Buffalo, KF8 DGE Nick in Toledo. We had KO4 FLJ Joe in Hope Mills, North Carolina. KM4 WZG Joe in Claremont. W5 KAL Ken in Cleveland. KQ4 ORK Barry in Apopka, Florida was in and out. And we had WA8CLG Doug via the text. We had TW3EPH Leonard. Looks like you're new to the system via the radio. We had N8ZFH Gary in Woodhaven, Michigan. Anyone else before I run the list? Please come with your call sign twice.
Bravo Delta Oscar, Kilo X2 Bravo Delta Oscar, in and out. X-ray Quebec, in and out.
Echo 3, Tango Golf, November. Victor Echo 3, Tango Golf, November. Tim Windsor, Ontario, Canada.
Kilo Charlie 1, Whiskey Bravo, Nashua, New Hampshire, KC1 WWB.
Kilo Foxtrot 4, Victor Golf India. Kilo Foxtrot 4, Victor Golf India. Aaron from Fayetteville, in and out.
Mike 6, Mike Charlie Whiskey. That's Mike 6, Mike Charlie Whiskey from London, England. Hi, how are you doing?
Alrighty, we'll hold it up there. Recognizing from the bottom up, we had M6 MCW Michael over in London, England. We'll get back to you shortly there, Michael. We had KF4 VGI Aaron in Fayetteville, North Carolina was in and out. Thanks for joining us. We had KC1 WWB William in Nashua, New Hampshire. Looks like you're new to the system. We'll get back to you shortly as well. We had KE2 EDS Mark in Elma, New York via the text. We had VE3 TGN Tim in Windsor. We had KD2 EXQ Mike in Syracuse, New York was in and out. We had KE2 BDO Richard in Schuyler Falls, and I acknowledge the rest. Let's go to the top of this list and run them. The question of the day, everyone, is have you ever rented a storage unit? This is W2BLT. Let's go to W8CLG Doug in Homosassa, Florida. Good morning.
This is WA8CLG. Very good morning, everybody. And I am happy to say that I've never had need to rent a storage unit, so my answer is no, I have not. And with that, it looks like it's going to be a cool start to the day, and I'll get on with cranking it up here. Everybody have a good one. WA8CLG. Back to you, Scott.
All right, thank you, Doug. Appreciate you joining us. You have yourself a great day. W5KAL, Ken in Cleveland, Texas. Good morning.
Good morning, Matt, Brew Crew. I have not rented a storage facility as of yet. Everyone have a great day. Safe travels out there if you're mobile. W5KAL, back to net.
Alrighty, Ken. Thanks for joining us this morning. KM4WZD, Joe in Claremont, Florida. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning to Vicky. Good morning to the crew. I have more than once rented a storage unit. Everybody take care. 7-3, KM4WZD, back to net.
All right. right, Joe, have a great day. KO4 FLJ, Job in Hope Mills, North Carolina. Good morning to you.
And the rest of the gang. And the answer to the question is yes, I have rented a storage unit on a Tuesday, as a matter of fact. And back to you, Net Control.
Thanks for joining us, Job, and have a great day. KF8 DGE Nick down in Toledo, Ohio. Good morning, Nick.
Morning, everybody. It is a yes for me. I didn't do it the typical way, though. I actually used it to run a business out of a 9x12 and used it for all my storage and working on stuff. Had a little workbench in there, had power. It was great. KF8 DG, back in net.
Well, it's a good way to keep the overhead down. Have a good day, Nick. Thanks for joining us. KE2FLO, Mike in Buffalo, New York. Good morning, Mike. KE2FLO, are you still with me? Well, we'll mark him in and out. Next up, VE3, GJP, Joel up in Toronto, Ontario. Morning, Joel.
Hey, good morning, Scott, and everyone in the morning brew. Miss you guys, so say hello. I was gonna go in and out. Anyhow, yeah, briefly, I had storage for maybe a month back in and 7-3 everyone, VE3 GJP from Toronto.
Well, now that they got that out of their system, thanks for joining us, Joel. Always a pleasure. This is W2BLT. Next up, N2ZGN. Francis up in Peru, New York. Good morning. N2ZGN. Francis, are you still with me? Right along. How about N2VLK? Jeff in Lancaster. Good morning.
Well, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody has a good day today. And I have not ever rented a storage unit. I guess I'm fortunate that way. But I'll say 7-3, and I'll turn it back to you. And thanks again for what you guys do. I definitely enjoy it. And to VLK, I'll be on the side listening.
Alrighty, thanks for joining us, Jeff. Appreciate it. You have yourself a fine one. Let's go to W8STJ. Steve up in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Scott. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, everybody here on the Morning Brew. The answer for me would be yes. Had a pretty large one back in the day in between homes. But hope you all have a great day today. 7-3 to all. W8STJ.
Thanks for joining us, Steve, and appreciate it. Next up, DW3EBH. Leonard in the Philippines. Good morning.
Good morning, Net. This is Leonard, transmitting over Metro Manila, Philippines. It was my first time
joining the net, and I'm very glad to hear you all. Again, this is Leonard, Delta Whiskey 3 Echo Bravo Hotel, Delta Whiskey 3 Echo Bravo Hotel 73.
Well, thanks for joining us, and we're here every Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time in the U.S., and except for holidays. Come join us again. Let's go to N8ZFH, Gary in Woodhaven, Michigan. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, and the Brew Crew. And it's a wonderful day here in southeastern Michigan with snow on the ground. Only the second time I've seen snow after April the 8th in over 50 years. And yes, had a storage unit for about a year, right when COVID started, right after COVID started, moving back from Rhode Island to Michigan. And we left some stuff there for about a year. Please check me in and out. I'll continue to listen. Moving to the radio, N8ZFH. Back to that.
All right, thank you, Gary. And the weatherman here in Buffalo said that yesterday's low of, I don't know what it was, 22 or whatever it was, will be the lowest it will get till next fall, and I hope he's right. Have a great day. KE2 BDO, Richard up in Schuyler Falls, New York. Good morning, and have you ever rented a storage unit?
Good morning to you and all on the Morning Brew, and the answer to that is no, I never have. Everybody have a great day, 7-3.
All right, thank you, Richard. Appreciate you joining us, and have a good day. Let's go up north to VE3TGM. Tim in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Good morning, Tim.
Morning, Scott, Vicky, in there. Sounds like you're having a really good net. I was saying, no, I never have storage, but I do store my RV, my travel trailer there at a campground at Windsor Campground. I don't know what that counts, but definitely the travel trailer is stored monthly there throughout the whole year and that. But having a storage area, the answer would be no. And thanks for being there. 7312 VE3 TGN clear. Back to net control.
Alrighty, thank you, Tim. You have yourself a good day up there in Windsor. Next up, one of your hosts on the open mic net here on Wednesday nights, KE2 EDS, Mark and Elma. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, and the rest of the crew. As far as having a storage unit, no. My wife would say I'm obsessed with sheds. I just add more sheds in my yard. I have 3. The last one I added was a 12 by 24, so I don't need storage units. Have a great morning, KE2 EDS.
Alrighty, thanks for joining us, Mark, and I can't put any more storage sheds on the lawn. That would take up space to lay down radials. Have a great day. Next up, KC1 WWB. William in Nashua, New Hampshire. Looks like you're new to the system. Welcome to the Morning Brew. And have you ever rented a storage unit?
Good morning, Brew Crew. Nice to hear from everybody. I was just exploring EchoLink and trying some different repeaters and talk to you guys. Very cool. As far as storage unit, yeah, I did once years ago during a home renovation, and but I'll tell you, these storage units now up here in New Hampshire, it's big business. These guys have built some enormous warehouses dedicated just for
people storing their things. And yeah, it's amazing, and they're popping up all over the place too, around here. And when I go to Maine, I see a lot up in Maine also. So anyhow, yeah, this has been fun. This is Kilo Charlie 1, Whiskey Bravo in New Hampshire, 73, and have a great day, everybody. Thank you.
Well, thanks for joining us, William. I'm glad you found us. And if you go to eastcoastreflector.com, it'll give you all kinds of information, how to hook up, what's going on, all the nets and everything. And love to have you stop by again. Have a great day. This is W2BLT. Let's go to M6MCW. Michael over in London, England. Looks like you're new to the system as well. Good morning. Well, Michael, we could hear a voice under there, but it's absolutely noisy. You can't even hear anything you're saying. I'll leave you open here, and I'll come back to you in a while. Maybe you can see what's going on or hook in a different way. But at any rate, let's take a couple more text check-ins we have here. We have KD2VNU and AA5JW. Let's go to Derby Dan, KD2VNU. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning to the rest of the net. Yes, I have rented a storage unit in the past. Everybody have a great day. KD2VNU, return back to the net.
Alrighty, thank you, Dan. And let's go to AA5 at JW, James in Spring, Texas. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Brew Crew. This is Alpha 5, Juliet Whiskey James in Spring. Still don't have much of a voice, but it's coming back, so that's good. For the question at hand, yes, I have paid for a storage unit, but I will never do that again because I realized that after keeping that storage unit for about a year and a half, and what I paid on storage fees, I could have paid to replace everything I had stored in there. So I'll never store stuff again. If I don't need it, I'll get rid of it. And then if I need it again, I'll buy a new one. With that, I'll say 7-3, hand it back to that. Everybody have a blessed day. Stay safe out there. This is Al Juliet Whiskey Mobile. We'll be monitoring.
Well, thanks for joining us, James, and I hope your voice continues on its mend. The last text we had on here is W9EBB, Don in Ocala, Florida. Good morning, Don, and have you ever rented a storage unit?
Good morning, everyone on the Brew Crew. Ocala, Florida, 50 degrees right now, and yes, I have rented a storage unit before. Unfortunately, when my grandfather passed away, well, he willed me his 1972 Nova, which was pretty much in pristine condition. So I needed a place to store it and nice and, to keep it nice and clean. And so I rented a storage unit before. I sold it a couple of years later for the money that I needed. That's my answer. Everybody have a great day here. 73 to all.
Alrighty, thank you, Don. Appreciate you joining us this morning, and have a great day. Let's go back up and see if we can get Michael over in London, England again. M6MCW. See if you got a better way or closer to that repeater. Michael, are you there?
Scott. Yes, M6.
PW. Yeah, I'm just here in London. Hi to everybody. I hope you have a blessed day. Answer to your question, I've never rented a storage unit. I wouldn't likely to, because I like to keep all my stuff nearby. Listen guys, have a great day, and it's lovely to listen to you. 73.
All right, Michael, you have a great day as well, and we appreciate you joining us this morning. And we're here every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, and stop back again. All right, we'll start a new list here. Let's start out with, well, let me acknowledge these 3 text check-ins. We have W2RBC Randy, W2KDC Dennis, and KO4QMM Roger and you Matilda. Let's take some more check-ins. Anybody, anywhere, please come with your call sign twice and slowly.
Kilo Delta 2, November, Lima, Mobile, KT2NL Mobile.
Storage said, case 0 BBS, checking the hospital room.
Kilo 7, Delta Yankee. Kilo 7, Delta Yankee.
Juliet Papa Delta. Kilo Charlie 1, Juliet Papa Delta, in and out. Good morning.
Kilo 2, Tango Victor. Kilo 2, Tango Victor.
November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo. November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo.
Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Tango Juliet. Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Tango Juliet, in and out.
Yeah, 4, MTG, Kilo India 4, Mike Tango Golf, in and out.
Number 2, United Hotel India, and 2, UHI, in and out. W9, SAM, Whiskey 9, Sierra Alpha Mike, in and out.
N2BH.
November 8, Mike Juliet November. November 8, Mike Juliet November, mobile.
Whiskey 4, Papa X-ray, W4 PPX, mobile, in and out. Whiskey Alpha Foxtrot uniform.
Alrighty, we'll hold it up there. That last station in there coming in on the DMR bridge, the Whiskey Alpha something. Could you give me your call sign again, please, twice? The last station there to come in on the DMR bridge, Whiskey Alpha Foxtrot something. Could you give me your call sign again, please? Well, I guess I was hearing things. At any rate,
Alpha Foxtrot uniform. Confirm, sir.
Let's try that one more time here. I got Foxtrot uniform there. I must have doubled with you. Could you give it to me again, please? Well, at any rate, let's go with it. We got W4 PPX. Don in Hollywood was in and out. Thanks for joining us, Don. We had N8 MJN Marson. We had N2BH Bill. WP4 VW Milton via the text. We got W9 SAM Sam was in and out. N2 UHI Art was in and out. KI4 MTG Jerry was in and out. And VA3 KTJ Jinsuk was in and out. We had N4 RHE Roger in Fort Lauderdale. K2 TV Bob in Fairfax. KC1 JPD Jeffrey up in Milton, Vermont was in and out. We had KK7 DY Clark. We had a station in there is a KC0. That KC0 station, could you give me your call sign again twice, please?
That could have been me. This is KC0BBF. KC0BBF. No, I have not rented a storage shed. Pace picker up went well. Checking in from my hospital room. Have a great day. Hopefully I get to go home later today. Maybe. 73, KC0BBF. Thanks, Scott.
Alrighty, you have a good day, and appreciate you joining us, and hope your things getting better. We had KD2NL Chip, and let's go up to the top of this list with W2 RBC Randy in West Seneca, New York. Good morning, Randy, and the question of the day is, have you ever rented a storage unit?
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, and everyone on the Morning Brew. Yes, I have rented a storage unit. Back to net control, 73 to all, W2, RBC.
All right, thanks, Randy. Have a great day, and I appreciate you joining us. W2 KDC, Dennis in Dansville, New York. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone on the brew. No, I have never rented a storage unit. I haven't seen, fortunately, I guess. Everybody have a great day. Wishing you 73. W2 KDC, back to you.
All right, thank you, Dennis, and appreciate you joining us. This is W2 BLT. Next up, Roger, KO4QMM, one of your hosts on the 20-meter net, which meets at 10 o'clock this morning on 14-317, Roger's favorite frequency. Good morning, Roger. Have you ever rented a storage unit?
Good morning, Mr. Scott and the Brew Crew. No, I never have storage place. And yes, looking forward to the 20-meter net today. It is at 10 o'clock, 14.317. Anybody with the amateur, general, or extra is welcome to be there. We always have a question of the day. We'll look forward to it. And I do appreciate this text line. I've been doing a lot of doubling and tripling, and it just makes life easy. Thanks, Scott. Making it fun. You always sound good. KO4QMM clear.
Alrighty, Roger. Thanks for joining us, and I'll get that pipeline to Florida cleared out here after the brew's done. Let's go to KD2NL, Chip in Cincinnati, New York. Good morning, Chip.
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, and the rest of the crew. You know, I can't say that I've ever had the privilege of renting a storage unit. So I'll say 73, you all have a good day, and back to net, KD2NL Mobile.
Alrighty, thank you, Chip. Have a great day, and thanks for joining us. Next up, KK7DY, Clark in Phoenix, Arizona. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, and the Brew Crew. Yes, I have rented a storage unit, 1974 and 75. Back to net control, KK7DY.
K66IKI.
Alrighty, thank you for joining us this morning, Clark. We appreciate it. Let's go to K2 TV, Bob in Fairfax, Virginia. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning to Vicky on the logging computer, and good morning to everyone on the Brew Crew. Well, you know, when I had my own house, I had no need to rent a storage unit, and now that I'm in an apartment, I have a storage unit. So, never say never, I guess. Anyway, everybody have a great day. This is K2 TV.
Alrighty, thanks for joining us, Bob. It's good to talk with you again. It's been a little while. Next up, the fellow that submitted this question, N4 RHE Roger in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Top of the morning.
W2BOT and the rest of the day to yourself, Scott, and clever cousin Vicky. Good ears. November 4, roommate Teleco. Yes, for a couple of years when I moved off my boat and before I took my stuff to a ship chandlery. Apparently that statistic is proving true. What is your answer, Scott? November 4, Roger Ham Enthusiast. Return to net.
Thanks, Roger. And oh, yes, I have rented a storage unit for about 2 months one time, but I rented space in a storage facility for my motorhome for a few years. Have a good day, Roger. Appreciate you joining us, and thanks for the question. Appreciate it. Next up, WP4VW, Milton. Good morning, Milton. WP4VW, are you with me, Milton?
A little delay. I was having some issues with my radio. Yeah, I currently use a storage unit, and I hope everybody has a great day. Back to you in control. Thank you for everything. Always great to hear from you. WP4VW.
Alrighty, thank you, Milton. Appreciate it, and have yourself a great day. Next up, one of our system facilitators and one of the fellows helping me this morning on the log, N2BH, Bill in Palmyra, New York. Good morning, Bill, and have you ever rented a storage unit?
Good morning, Scott. Mark in the Zoom room there, and everybody else. Yes, we did for a little bit when we were between houses, and the rest of the day might even join Roger's net this morning. Have a good one, and to BH.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you joining us and your help. And yeah, I heard Roger was going to serve coffee and donuts this morning during the net. So, you know, donut, I gotta be there. Next up, N8MJN, Marston, Sterling Heights, Michigan. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Scott, and everybody on the brew. N8MJN. Hopefully I'm making a repeater. I might be at the end of my wire here, about 25 miles away from the repeater, so getting close. No, I've never rented a storage unit before, and for the rest of the day, I'm going to be taking care of my 4-year-old. He's not in preschool today due to some sniffles, so yeah, he gets to have some fun. With that, I'll say 73 and send it back to net control.
Alrighty, Marston, and yeah, you sounded pretty good. You're still hitting that repeater, a little bit of noise, but not a problem at all. Have a good one. KE8SMN, Jeff in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, everyone on the brew. This is KE8SMN. Put me down for yes. I have and still do. I have a storage unit. 73 to all. KE8SMN, back to net.
Alrighty, thank you, Jeff. You know, it makes me think I should probably go out and get a small one again. I got enough stuff that I could fill it right up to the rafters. Give me some more room around here. Next up, KO4CLD, Micah in Tuscumbia, Alabama. Good morning, Micah.
Good morning, Scott. No, my father has had many and numerous and a plethora of storage buildings in his lifetime. And he told me, son, he's like, storage buildings are like this. You're repaying for what you already paid for. So my goal in life is to never have any. But we'll see. Sometimes you need to have one. So put me down for none. KO4CLD, back to you, Scott.
Alrighty, thanks for joining us, Micah. And I just lost the log here. I've got to wait till my computer comes back up here, which it should in just a moment. Meanwhile, I just want to remind everybody about the 20-meter net this morning on 14-317 with your host, Roger, and I think Randy joins him. And the computer's back up. Next up, KQ8U, Bob in Ecorse, Michigan. Good morning, Bob.
Morning, Scott, Vicky, and the rest of the crew. I have one time when I shut my business down, I put everything in there, long enough for me to build a big shed in the yard where I stored it to, and after that I just kind of went through things away. Every good day I'll be on the 10. I got to go beyond the 20. I got to go to the store first. KQ8U, back to that.
Thank you, Bob. I'm sorry, did you say you had rented a storage unit before?
Oh, that's affirmative.
Thanks. Appreciate you joining us. This is W2BLT. Time to take some new check-ins. Anybody, anywhere, please come with your call sign twice and slowly.
So, Bravo 8.
K8BWK Mobile. Kilo 4 Hotel Delta.
N1 QWX November 1 Queen Whiskey X-ray RE19 main in and out.
Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Romeo. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Romeo.
W4VNJ, Whiskey 4 Victor, November, June. Good morning.
November Whiskey 4 Quebec. November Whiskey 4 Quebec.
Kilo Bravo 2, Whiskey Golf Charles Mobile. Kilo Bravo 2, Whiskey Golf Charles Mobile.
Kilo 4 Papa Juliet Mike. Kilo 4 Papa Juliet Mike.
Foxtrot 8, Delta Mike Lima, in and out.
N5 November 5 Golf India.
KQ4 Alpha 2,
Mike Alpha Tango.
Alrighty, let's see, 3BXD, Kilo Charlie 3 Bravo X-Ray Delta. Check me in and out, please.
Alrighty, let's hold it up there for just a moment. That's a good list. Recognizing from the bottom up, we had KC3, BXD, Dave in Wexford, Pennsylvania, was in and out. Thanks for joining us. We had a KA2MAT, KQ4 UAM, N5 GI, Rick. We had KF8DML, Jeff in Granville, Michigan was in and out. We had K4 JPM, Perry, KB2WGC, Kevin, NW4Q, Jim, W4VNJ, Joe, KE4DER, Bill, N1QWX, Arthur in Lincoln, Nebraska was in and out. We had K8BWK, Ben, K4HD, Kevin in Canyon Country, California. And we had one here, it sounded like KB8CXK. Could you confirm or correct that call, please? Did we have a KB8CXK?
There was a KB8PLV, Kilo Bravo 8, Papa Lima Victor, Chris.
That'll work, Chris, up in Novi, Michigan. I'm going to run this list, and when I don't get to, I will turn over to Mike. Let's go to KB8 PLV, Chris in Novi. The question of the day is, have you ever rented a storage unit?
Good morning to everyone on the Brew Crew, and thank you to those who make it happen. No, I have not ever rented a storage unit, and maybe a storage space for an RV, but never a storage unit. Everyone have a good weekend ahead. KB8 PLV, 73 to all.
All right, thanks, Chris. Let's go to K4HD, Kevin out in Canyon Country, California. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. And for the storage question, no, never have had the need. Have a great day. 73 all the way around. K4HD.
Thank you, Kevin. Let's go to Ben, K8BWK in Oregon, Ohio. Good morning, Ben.
Morning, Scott. No, sir. No storage unit for us. I'm a firm believer. If you haven't touched it or needed it within a year, you get rid of it. Everyone have a great Thursday. K8BWK.
Alrighty, thank you, Ben. Appreciate you joining us, and have a good day. KE4DER, Bill in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Good morning.
Good morning, it's Bill, KE4DER, Fayetteville, North Carolina, on the built-in portable handheld. No, I've never rented a storage unit. My house is pretty much a big, agglomerated, if that's a word, storage unit. 73 to you. Thanks for calling the net this morning. I enjoyed every morning I'm able to do it. KE4DER, back to net.
Thanks for joining us, Bill. We appreciate it, and have a good day. W4VNJ, Joe in Monticello, Kentucky. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Scott and Vicky and everybody on the Brew Crew this morning. Yeah, me and my son raced a little dirt car, and every Saturday night we'd come back it in the little storage unit there, so that's where we kept it. So everybody have a W4VNJ. Back to you, Scott.
All right, thank you, Joe. Have a good day. Next up, NW4Q, Jim in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Good morning, Jim. Have you ever rented a storage unit?
Yes, sir, have. Using one right now.
Alrighty, thank you, Jim. You have yourself a good day. Well, that's going to do it for me, folks. We're going to turn the rest over K2CMT. I'd like to thank Vicky, K8GKY for logging this morning, and Bill, N2BH, for there for a while. Let me acknowledge a couple text check-ins before I get done so they know we got them. KY4MB and VE3DCS. Alrighty, that's going to do it for me. This is W2BLT. It's all yours, Mike.
Thank you, Scott. And good morning, everyone. And good morning, Vicki. I'm glad you got your ears tuned up. Had to make it easier on this second hour. Got all the wax out of them. Let me remind everyone that following the morning at 10 a.m., Roger will be conducting the 20-meter net at 14.317 on your dial. For those with privileges, please try to participate. And Jim and Trish, I missed you by one this morning. Glad to hear you in there. Next up, mobile station, Kevin in Homosassa, Florida, KB2WGC.
Good morning to the net and everybody who works hard behind the scenes. Yes, we did rent a storage unit. Had to rent one for about 3 months when we're in between homes that we bought. Everybody have a good day. KB2WGC.
Thank you, Kevin. I remember renting quite a few in my youth between apartment moves and jobs that took me in-state and out-of-state. I always considered it a waste of money. I really came right down to it because of what I had in it for rent. Sometimes exceeded the value. Perry in Leesburg, Florida, K4PJM. Good morning, Perry.
Yes, we have rented several units. We've moved around from New England down here to Florida, and you know, you've always got all that stuff you can't part with, and you know, we probably, like everybody else says, paid more money than it was worth having in the storage. We finally have cleared ourselves of that and back to just what we got. Thanks for what you do here. This is K4PGM, back to the net.
Thank you, Perry. And Jeff waved a hand as he passed by from Granville, Michigan. Thank you, Jeff. Next up is Rick over here in the Villages of Florida, N5GI. Good morning, Rick. N5GI, you still with me? Well, moving on along, Kevin in Interlachen, Florida, KQ4UAM. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Mike and the crew. Yes, sir, I have had storage units in the past. Had I think for the longest one before we got the house with the garage, stored a big full-size motorcycle in a 10x10. That was a little hard to get in and out, but it worked. KQ4 UAM, back to the net.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for that little musical tune in the background. Joe in Hazlitt, New Jersey, KA2MAT. Good morning, Joe.
Well, good morning to you, Mike and Vicki, and all others on the net. No is the answer on the storage space, although I've come to realize that inorganic things do grow in my basement.
Well, you need to turn that light off. You're giving them too much light if it's growing. Keep it in the dark. Thank you for being here. Dave from Waxford, Pennsylvania, waved a hand. Thank you, Dave. And Scott, KY4NB, Barbecue and Elvis. Good morning to you, buddy. Memphis, Tennessee.
KY4NB here from Elvis and Barbecue Land. Well, hi Mike and Brother Razzle and everybody on the brew crew this morning, and got up a little late, but I am taking time to have my coffee before I motor into work. Hi. in my mug here with some Motley Crue photos on it from the ECR. Okay. Anyway, the answer to the question is no, not personally, but I have cleaned out a few. You know, Dad had one for some stuff one time, and then, you know, like everybody else, you have friends and people that have them. And for that caller about the inorganic stuff, maybe they could talk to our neighbors, and store some stuff over there. And they sure use a lot of it. Back to you, Mike, and everybody on the net. 73 all KY4NB.
Scott, those mugs with what you refer to as the Motley Crew, we refer to them locally as the Dream Team. They'll be collector's items one day, so hang on tight. Keep them in good shape. Try to keep them out of that dishwasher so they don't fade out. Tim, our friend from the north, Windsor, Ontario, VE3TCS. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, one and all. VE3TCS, Tim in Windsor. No, sir, I've never rented a storage locker, but both of my daughters have. Everybody have a great day. Take care. Be blessed. VE3TCS, back to net. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining us, Tim. Next up is Al, one of our system facilitators and net controllers here at the Morning Brew. K8BAC from Brighton, Michigan. Good morning.
Yes, unfortunately I have had to run out of storage facility when my mom passed away during COVID, and man, was that expensive. Don't hope I never have to do that again. But I've got enough barns around here that anything else can just go in those. So everybody have a great day. Back to you, Mike KBAC.
Well, Al, be sure to leave some gems in those barns, because, you know, the next generation needs to be able to have some tremendous barn finds for reality TV shows. Next up is Andy in Chickawawa, New York, W28JR.
Good morning, Mike. Morning, everybody on the brew crew. Nope, never had to rent a storage unit. And so it looks like I'm in the need for one at the present time. The rest of the day is work, and then, who knows, play some radio tonight. 7-3, all have a great day.
Contact.
Thank you, Andy, for being with us. KK4MOW, Joe, right here in Orange City, Florida. Good morning, Joe.
Hey, good morning, everybody. KK4MOW, Kilo 4, Micah Oscar Whiskey. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Vicky. Yes, I have had a storage building before, a couple of times. It's always good and handy sometimes. Okay, it's good down here. Everybody watch the fire grill. Sure you don't have any embers going off. Still dry in Florida. Okay, Mike, back to the net. Good day. KK4.
Thank you, Joe, for being here. Bill in North Fort Myers, Florida, W8WHK.
Yeah, well, good morning here from Southwest Florida. It's 62 degrees and clear skies. And no, I've never had to rent a storage unit. My son has rented storage units, and it was just never the thing. We have things we have to store somewhere, but I don't want to pay for that, so we got them. You're probably better off buying a shed, and in the long run, if you have someplace to put it, of course. And I'll just, the rest of the morning here, I'm going to sit and listen to the radio, and enjoy another cup of Black Rifle coffee.
Per capita, a lot of people moving in, but find out the house they bought won't hold everything they brought with them. So we see a lot of them here. And most of them are air conditioned, temperature controlled, which you have to be in order to protect those goods. Next up is Florian, Conroe, Texas, K5YNU.
Good morning, Mike, Vicky, and everyone on the Morning Brew Crew. The answer to your question is no. Back to the control. Have a blessed one, K5YNU.
Thank you for joining us, Lauren. Bill in Hobbs, New Mexico, you're up, buddy. KI5PMI.
Good morning, Mike, everybody on the brew. Yes, I have rented one in the past. Was doing a move and had to have one for a few months, but that's the only time I rented one. Hope everybody has a great day. KI5PMI. Back to net.
Thank you, Bill, for being here. Jason in Milwaukee, Oregon, KK7ZSH. Good early morning to you, Jason.
Good morning to everybody on the Brew Crew. I hope everyone's having a good morning. Thank you for doing the net, by the way. It's a lot of fun. Have I ever rented a storage unit? Yes, one time. Right before I bought my first house, I was kind of gathering furniture and stuff to put in it, and so I rented one for just a couple of months, bought a few things, and when I bought my house, moved all of it in and never rented one since. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks for doing the net again. 73 is to everybody. KK7 ZSH.
Thank you for being here, Jason. Next up on the list, WB2JPQ, the Godfather himself. Good morning, Dick.
Morning, Mike, Vicky, everybody. Nope, I've never rented one. I never have. Oh, got enough storage around here. Have a good day, everybody. See you tomorrow. We'll be doing the second cup, as we have been tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So WB2JPQ.
Thank you, Dick, and thank you for the reminder. Time for some new customers to join us. This is Vicky, K8BKY, and myself. This is Mike, K2CMT. New clients come now, twice and slowly, please.
KQ4AY8, Gary, Fort Lauderdale. KQ4AY8, Gary, Fort Lauderdale.
KC9TEW, KC9TEW.
Victor,
Good morning.
Let's hold up just a second. I had a Tango Charlie in there. Would that station give me your full call, please?
Kilo Alpha 5 Gulf Tango Charlie, in and out. Good morning.
Thank you for the wave, Glenn. Any other stations come now, twice and slowly. And slow it down, boys. There's no hurry.
Kilo Juliet 5, Delta X-Ray Bravo. Kilo Juliet 5, Delta X-Ray Bravo.
Whiskey
Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie. Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie.
Kilo Quebec 4, Echo Oscar India, KQ4 EOI. Sit out, please. Good morning.
Kilo Quebec 4, Uniform Zulu Golf, KQ4 UZG. In and out. Good morning.
Okay, let's hold up for a moment. Let me ask for Echo Link and digital stations only on this pass. Echo Link and digital stations only.
Whiskey 2, Echo Lima Sierra, Ron in Churchville, New York.
05, Mike Papa Hotel, K5 MPH, in and out. Thank you.
Okay, after that very long pause and not hearing anything, let me acknowledge these stations that just checked in. K5MPH was in and out. Thank you, Michael, for waving a hand. W2ELS, Ron. KQ4UZG, Ken. KQ4POI, Don, new to the system. WD8PIC, Bob in Sylvania. KJ5DXB, Frank in Sugar Land, Texas. Paul was in and out, KD5ZPT. Glenn was in and out, KA5GTC. Thank you for waving a hand. Mike in Lidditz, Pennsylvania, KC3LAV. Vern on his walkabout, VA3CRF. Jeff in Crown Point, Indiana, KC9TEW. Gary, Fort Lauderdale, KQ4AYH. Chuck from Lancaster by way of Lake Placid, W2EM. Carlos from Hollywood, Florida, Aeronautical Mobile, N1CBM. And let me find my mobile station. The only mobile station I've got that I'm going to have to talk to in a hurry is old Vern up there in mobile portable on foot. VA3CRF, how's the weather treating you, Vern? Question of the day is, have you ever rented a storage unit? That question was submitted by Roger, N4R.
Good morning, Mike and Vicki and everybody on the net. Thanks for doing it. It's a cool morning. It's 33 up here. It's going to warm up a little bit. They're actually suggesting we might get a little bit of snow today. I'm hoping that's not on. In terms of the question of the day, Mike, we have rented storage twice, and actually it was, believe it or not, mobile storage. We had a few closing dates we couldn't line up, so we put everything in a shipping container. They took it away and then brought it back when we moved into the new places. I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks for doing it, Mike. VA3CRF.
Thank you, Vern, and you stay safe out there on the sidewalk and watch out for pedestrian traffic as well. Carlos in Hollywood, Florida. Good morning, buddy. N1CBM.
Good morning, Mike. Nice to talk to you this Thursday morning. Vicky and the rest of the crew. 66 degrees down here. Beautiful day. Nice weather. I have rented back in the past. I had to have one of those units for like 3-4 months, but that was it. Not anymore. Back to you, Mike, and 1CPM. Have a good day. 7-3.
Thank you for being here, Carlos. W2EM, Chuck. Good morning, son.
Good morning, Mike, Vicky, and the rest of the brewers there.
rental unit. I've never had to rent a storage unit. Like Carlos said, it's a beautiful day down here in Florida. We're in Central Florida, and it's going to be a gorgeous day. So 73 W2EM.
Thank you for joining us this morning, Chuck, as always. AQ4AYH, Gary in Fort Lauderdale. How are you doing today, Gary?
Well, good morning to everybody on the Coffee Brew, or the Coffee Brew Net. So I have rented a storage once in my life, and that was about 8 years ago when I moved into an apartment that I'm now moving out of as we speak. And this time I refuse to store anything, because if I haven't used it in 6 months, unless it's my emergency radio gear, it got tossed. And I'm glad I did, because I tossed out a lot of junk that I haven't used in 8 years. So why add to the monthly cost of things, with the cost of things going up? So I decided this time around not to rent a storage unit. If I didn't use it, it got tossed. Back to the net control, KQ4AYH in nice, cool Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Speaking of cool, we're setting on 63 this morning, mostly sunny right here in the middle of the state. So that little cold snap is quite relieving. Thank you for being with me this morning, Gary. Jeff in Crown Point, KC9TEW. Good morning, buddy.
Hi, good morning, everybody on the brew this morning. To answer your question, no, I've never rented one. And just a little note for Roger's 20-meter net today, I will not be able to make it as I got a doctor's appointment this morning. So back to you, Net. Have a great day. KC9TEW is clear.
Thank you, Jeff. I'll miss you on that 20-meter net. You're one of the few that I can hear. So, I can hear good, I mean. Thank you for being here this morning, and good luck on your outing today. Mike in Lititz, Pennsylvania, KC3LAV.
Am I okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning, Mike, and good morning to everyone on the crew this morning. It's good to hear everyone in there, and we're having a fine day here. This is KC3LAV. Mike in Warwick Township, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. It's a little bit rainy here for the next few days, and that's fine with me. We need the rain. Negative to the question, I have not ever had a storage unit, but I have a whole basement full of stuff that needs to go somewhere else anyway. Thank you very much for having the net this morning. Back to net control, KC3LAV, clear.
Thank you, Mike, for joining us this morning. Let me say hi to Glenn and Paul, Port Arthur, Texas, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Thank you for waving a hand, boys. Charlie and Bertie, Sun City Center, Florida, Tampa Bay, NA2B. Good morning, Charlie. Ever used any storage units?
Good morning, Mike, Vicky, and everybody on the net from Bertie and I. And it is a little chilly here this morning. We got 60 over here in Tampa Bay. Although it is quite refreshing. Had a good night's sleep with the window open last night and all that fresh air in. All kinds of sleepy guys. Response to the question, Mike, we have never did a rental or a storage unit at all. Closest Bertie and I were talking about it, closest we ever came was we put some stuff in a U-Haul one time and parked it in the driveway for overnight until we went to our next destination, but that was it. Anyway, rest of the day, I'm going to work a little CW today, but I'm going to get out and get a walk-in in this nice fresh. Hope you have a great day. Thanks to what you do. K2CMT and A2B. Back to that.
Thank you, Charlie and Bertie. Y'all have a pleasant day and a fruitful weekend coming up. Pedro in Detroit, Michigan, KF8DEE. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Vicky, Brew Crew. No, I never had a storage. I just get in trouble. Just storing more trouble, which I don't need. Back to the net. KF8, Delta Echo Echo. KF8, Echo, clear now.
Thank you for joining us, Pedro. Next up is Frank from Sugar Land, Texas, KJ5DXB.
KJ5DXB, good morning to you, Mike, to Vicky, and everybody. I will be in the yes category. Thank you for the check-in. Have a great day, everybody. KJ5DXB, back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Frank. Bob in Sylvania, Ohio, it's your turnaround. WD8PIC.
No, I have not. I did not have not rented any storage unit or storage locker. I had to move, and I had some braille that needed to be moved, but I educated the movers, and they did a good job. So, back to net. 39 degrees and cloudy here at WD8PIC near Toledo.
Well, Brian, at least anyway, thanks a lot for that. And, I'm fascinated at having those at different times of the year. It's funny you...
Pick it up here. Ezekiel, where are we here? Ezekiel with Bob. Why don't you go ahead and repeat? The Fireside Hub came in and talked over to the top of you, Bob. WD8PIC. This is Dick WB2JPQ for a minute.
Okay, yeah, I heard that slightly in the background, and before I turned my other receiver down, and I wondered what that was. I even waited for it. No, I have not. 39 and cloudy here near Toledo. It had been raining overnight, and I had some braille that needed to be moved, and the movers didn't know how to do it, so I educated them on it in a nice way, and they did a good job. But no, I have not. Back to net control. Got nothing planned for today. I may have a friend come over to do a haircut, but I don't know, depends on whether he can make it or not. Back to net control, WD8PIC.
All right, Bob. Yeah, Fireside came in. I don't know whether somebody connected. They were talking over the top of you, so I took Fireside off. Let's go to Don. Looks like you're new to the system. Winter Garden, Florida. KQ4POI. Welcome. KQ4POI. Don, are you still with us from Winter Garden, Florida?
Guess we'll mark Don as the drive-by Vicky. Let's go to Ken. KQ4U said Q. Good morning. Ken, where did everybody go here this morning? KQ4U said G. Ken, are you...
Contact N5MOK.
Middle of the net here, sir. Is it an emergency? I guess not. Nothing heard from Ken. Let's go to Ron in Churchville, then I'll turn it back over to Mike. Mike, W2ELS. Don't hear a lot out of Churchville, New York. Good morning.
Contact is N5MOK Kilgore.
W2ELS. Go ahead.
Whiskey 2, Echo Lima Sierra. Ron calling in from Churchville, New York. Good morning, Net. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone having a good day. It's nice to have a day off so I can check into Net. For the question of the day, I have had a few storage units in my life. I'm only in the college time frame where I was moving between colleges and going back and forth. For the last storage unit, which I missed the most, is when I was storing my 2008 black Saturn Sky, which was the car I really loved having. Took the top down, driving in the breeze, and I would throw that Saturn in there for the winter. But yeah, missed that car and definitely miss having a storage unit. Whiskey 2, Echo Lima Sierra, Ron in Churchville signing off. Back to Net.
Thank you, Ron, for joining us this morning. Michael Wayne is from South Texas, and he passed K5 MPH traffic, Michael. KK6 from Kingman, Arizona.
Good morning from northern Arizona. You can put me down for yes on a storage unit. In fact, I'm currently paying monthly right now. It's a little painful. KK6 BCX, back to Net.
Thank you, Canada. Florida, W4.
I think we got a little issue going on here with a little packet loss. How about Ariel? I'm looking for RHC. Good morning to you, sir. Have you ever rented a storage shed?
Remember this Whiskey 4 Romeo Hotel Charlie? No, I do not. Never had to do that. What I do when I got way too much stuff, I threw that away in the garbage. While I continue keeping up with the stuff that I don't need. The only thing I need is my boat, and one day that I will get one back on a room 5x7 in front of the beach. But that ain't happening anytime soon. W4AC, good morning to all.
Well, good morning, Ariel. I can't agree with you. Your audio is pretty hot. You need to crank it down a few notches and you'll sound so much better. Morning to Vic. AC3TYX.
Hey, good morning, everybody. AC3TYX, Vic here in Cochranville, Pennsylvania. Yes, one time we did rent a storage unit. We were refinishing our basement and converting it to living space, so I figured I'd put stuff into... My Sirius is talking to me. I thought I would put everything into the storage unit for a month or two while I worked on the basement, and finally 2 years later I got it empty. KC3TYX, back to Net.
Thank you, Vic. David in Burleson, Texas, 85 CPO.
KC5 CPO Morning Brew, and checking in for the count. Thanks for what y'all are doing. Always enjoy the morning brew, the question of the day. Yes, we have in the past had a storage unit, and I think it's been said before, we got to where we were like, why are we storing all this stuff? We're not using it. So we got rid of all this stuff and saved us some money. Anyway, back to net control. Thank you for taking my call. KC5 CPO.
Thank you for being with us. We seem to have a lot of people across the system. So if you can hear me halfway through, your station come now.
Kilo Charlie 0 Alpha Golf Romeo. Kilo Charlie 0 Alpha Golf Romeo.
Kilo Charlie 3 Foxtrot Golf Delta. Charlie 3 Foxtrot Golf Delta.
And 5 MO. Kilo Echo 2 Delta Oscar Yankee. Kilo Echo 2 Delta Oscar Yankee.
6 Lima November in 679 Lancelot Hayward, California. I will be in and out.
Kilo Alpha 2 Echo Uniform. KA2 EEU. In and out. Let me grab the net here a minute. We missed some. We just have a technical issue here. Something went down. Good morning to Scott in Spring, Texas. We got you. We got K6LNI. We got Greg in Smithtown, New York, KE2 DOI, and David, KC5CPO. Who did we miss? I know there was a couple that had called in. We got Frank, KC2JPQ from Lancaster, and we got Larry from California, KE6MAE. Who did we miss? I know we missed a couple in there with the jitters of the system, and we had another little issue here. Who did we miss in that last round? Call signs twice, please.
Quebec 4, Echo Foxtrot, KQ4 HEF, in and out.
Kilo Charlie 3 Foxtrot Sierra. Kilo Charlie 9
Tango Juliet Sierra. In and out.
Kilo November 4 Romeo Whiskey. Kilo November 4 Romeo Whiskey. In and out.
Hold it up there. We got a long list here. We'll be losing people if we don't. We got you, Web N1 WEB, KN4RW. Got Thomas, K9TJS. We got you, Ray, in Elizabethtown. I had to take 7070 off. It was just noising up this morning. Going to leave it blocked for a while. We got Keith, KQ4HEF was in and out. And I think I acknowledged everybody else. Let's go up to the top of the list to David, see if Mike is back here. We'll see what his status is. KAC5CPO. Good morning, David. And the question this morning is, have you ever rented a storage shelter? Good morning.
ATR.
Let's call for David, KC5CPO. We're trying to regroup here. David, are you still with us?
I've been on Smart Kim as a drive-by as well. Go to Craig.
Check in and you have a storage facility at one point, and so that's my answer to the question today. KC5CPL.
KE2. We're gonna guess at it. KE2DOY. We're gonna go to you, and I'm gonna go over to Mike and see if we can finish out. KE2DOY. Good morning.
KE2DOY. Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Mike. This question is a good one. I have had a storage unit twice in my life. Once when I moved out to Colorado, and then once when I moved back from Colorado. Both times I had to store my possessions while we were picking out a new place to live. And I don't ever want to do it again. All right, back to you. This is KE2DOY.
Thank you, Greg. Lancelot in Haywood, California. You're up. K6LNI.
ECR.
K6LNI. Are you still with me, Lancelot?
I'll copy now.
If that's that, Lancelot, I hear you loud and clear. Question of the day is, have you ever rented a storage unit? Well, let's try Frank in Lancaster, New York. KC2JPQ. You with me this morning, Frank?
Good morning, Mike, and everybody on the brew. I've never rented a storage unit, and not much going on today. Actually, it looks like it's snowing outside today, so good old Buffalo weather. I'll send it back to the net. Everybody have a great day. KC2JPQ.
Thank you, Frank. KD3ATQ, Jim in Easton, Pennsylvania. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike, Vicky, Dick, and the brew crew. Yes, I have rented a storage unit. Soon learned that cutting back on inventory would save me a lot of money in a lot of ways, so that was a temporary venture. Turn it back to the net, KD3ATQ.
Thank you, Jim. Economics does sort out a whole lot of things in your life if you pay attention. Larry in Calamasa, California. KE6MAE. Good morning, Larry.
KE6MAE here in the West Coast where it's going to be 85 degrees today. Can I hear that report of snow in Buffalo? Glad I don't live there. I've only had to rent a storage unit once in my life. It was between houses, one closed escrow, and I hadn't closed another one. It took about 3 months to live in the temporary housing that was fully furnished, but I didn't like the idea of a storage thing, so I've never had one on a permanent basis. KE6MAE.
For joining us, Larry. Keith in Thompson, Georgia, KQ4HEF. Good morning. Oh, sorry, Keith. I see you were in and out now. I paid closer attention, but thank you for waving a hand. Ray in Elizabethtown, PA, KC3FGD. How did that asparagus fare?
Hey, good morning, Mike, Vicky, everyone on the brew. Well, right now with that cold temperature we had, what was it the night before, 26 degrees, the asparagus has stopped growing for a while. So
going to take a few more days for it to recover. I was happy that my other crops that are up, the broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage and so forth, survived the cold, so everything's looking good. As far as the question is concerned, negative there. Never had a storage unit, nothing to worry about. Everyone have a great day. Back to net control.
Thank you for being with us, Ray. You have a good day, and stay busy. Don't let the moths grow. K9TJS, Thomas in Margate, Florida. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Late to the net, so I'm not sure what the question was, and I was just trying to be in and out, so I'm going to pass it back to you, K9TJS.
Well, Thomas, now we got you. I got to let you know that the question of the day is, have you ever rented a storage unit?
No, I'm pretty sure I do not think I've ever rented a storage unit.
Well, life is short. You better get out there and get one so you can join most of the rest of it. Thank you for being here. Rudy in Smithfield, North Carolina, KN4RW.
Yeah, good morning, everybody on the net. It's KN4W. No, I haven't. I just put me in a no category for this morning. So 73s to all. Have a great day. 73s, KN4W.
Thank you, Rudy, for participating. Webb in Collierville, Tennessee, N1WEB. Good morning, Webb.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Vicki. Good morning to the net. Yeah, you betcha. Yeah, we've rented a storage unit when we moved from Wisconsin to Ohio, and that was quite a long time ago, but I suppose the day, it probably won't be too long, we'll have to rent another one. And one UAV back to net.
Thank you, Webb, for joining us this morning. Next up is Brian from Rockholds, Kentucky, KQ4ZGF. Are floodwaters affecting you, Brian, where you are? And the question of the day is, have you ever rented a storage unit?
Thankfully, unaffected by floodwaters here in Rockholds and Whitley County. And as for the question, yes, I have rented a storage unit, in between houses and stuff like that. That's it for me. 73 KQ4 is the GF. Back to net control.
Well, Brian, thank you for joining us this morning, and I'm glad everything's high and dry where you are. Joe in Sorrento, Florida, one of our system facilitators, and just the man that does it all. K04FRR.
Good morning, Morning Brew. This is Joe, KL4FR. Personally, no, I do not. Back to net control, KL4FR.
Thank you, Joe. Donnie in Jacksonville Beach, Florida, KM4CTB. Good morning, Donnie.
Good morning, Mike, Vicki, Dick, and everybody on the net. KM4CTB, Donnie in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. No, we've never rented a storage unit, Mike, but you couldn't get a car in our two-car garage if you had a two-block head start, I'll tell you that. And KM4WCO would swear it's mostly ham equipment, but I'd have to disagree. Thanks for doing that, Mike. KM4CTV.
Thank you, Donnie. You got me chuckling there. Daryl in Epsom, New Hampshire, WP1DXN.
I don't know what that is. This is WB1DXN. Hopefully I'm making it okay. Here we get a cool start of 32 degrees, 0 Celsius. We're going to get up to it's going to get hot today, 49 degrees, 9 degrees Celsius. And yes, I have rented, and right now, because I moved recently, I got a rental storage, and waiting for better weather to have the stuff moved up to here, and probably have to put stuff in the storage here for a bit too. Thanks for being there. You all have a good day. WB1DXN.
Well, thank you, Daryl, for joining us this morning. You're at the end of my list. With about 9 minutes to go, let's get on some new customers. Come now, please, twice and slowly.
Whiskey 3 United and W3U.
Whiskey Bravo 5, Mike. National telephone telegraph, WB5ITT Mobile. September 4, Golf Papa Alpha.
Kilo 4, Victor Tango Tango, KK4 VQ via Echo Link Mobile.
Whiskey 3, Bravo Radio Lima. Whiskey 3, Bravo Radio Lima. Charlie 8, Lima, Golf, Juliet, KG8, LGJ,
That's N8RWF. Been Trenton Mobile. Please in and out. That's in and out. Good morning.
Okay, let's hold up a moment. I'm going to read the call signs I have. Had a lot of doubling going on there, so listen close. N8RWF, KC8LFJ, or something that sounded like that, W3BRL, KK4VTT, KE2CXQ, N4GPA, WB5ITT, and NW3U. If you didn't have your call, come again now. Take your time, one at a time.
November 5, Mike, Oscar Kilo, Kilgore, Texas.
Charlie 8, Lima, Golf, Juliet, KC8, LGJ.
Kilo November 4, Tango Tango Bravo, KN4, TTB, Steve in Largo, Florida, in and out this morning.
Whiskey 2, Sierra Alpha Lima, Whiskey 2, Sierra Alpha Lima. Good morning, Mike.
Okay, thank you, Steve, for that correction on your call sign. And let me acknowledge Bill, N8RWF, Coy, new to the system, N5OK, Steve in Largo, KN4TTB, and my buddy Sal in Chickamauga, New York, W2SAL. Let me pick up these mobile stations first. KK4VTT, Bruce and Kissimmee. Have you ever rented a storage unit, Bruce?
Good morning to one and good morning to all on the net. No, Mike, I never rented a storage system. I never accumulated that much stuff. Hey, you guys have a great day out there. Thank you for everything, for what you do behind the scenes. Kilo 4, Victor Tango Tango, downtown Orlando, 408. Have a great day now.
Thank you for joining us, Bruce. Next up is Chris in Beaumont, Texas, WB5ITT.
Good morning, sir, and everybody on the Morning Brew, WB5ITT Mobile. Just
Had to drop one of my dogs off at the vet. He's not in good shape, and I hope they can fix him up. Not a good Thursday for me. As far as storage units, oh yeah, I've had them in the past. Don't have one now, and there's a good video of George Carlin on YouTube about storage units, where you move all your stuff into it, and you make room in your house for more stuff. Then you got to go get another storage unit for the extra stuff. So, never-ending battle. But I've kind of put a stop to that. Why waste money? Anyhow, hope everybody has a good Thursday. We're headed into Beaumont, meet Motorola, and do some more work on the regional radio system. WB5I, TT Mobile, back to net.
Thank you for being with us, Chris. David in Garner, North Carolina, NW3U.
Good morning, Mike, Vicki, and everybody on the Morning Brew, NW3U here. No, I have never rented a storage unit. But I'll say a story here that my daughter makes a fairly significant additional income for her family by buying the rental units that folks forget about and selling the stuff on eBay. She does real good on that. You have a good day, everybody. Have a good day, and we'll check in with you guys in the morning. 73's NW3.
Thank you for with us, David. Next up is Mark from Ocala, Florida, N4GPA. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Brew Crew. This is Mark from Ocala, Florida. I'm actually mobile and coming to you through the Gainesville repeater. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm about 20 miles from that repeater. And yes, I have had a storage unit in the past, although for a very short period of time. Back to net control.
We heard you good, Mark. Thank you, and stay safe out there on 75. Don in Wayland, New York, KE2CXQ. Good morning, Don.
Good morning to the Brew Crew and everybody else listening. Yes, I have a storage shed. I kind of live with a semi-hoarder, and I got to put her junk somewhere until I can get rid of it. KE2CXQ, back to net.
Thank you for joining us this morning, Don. Brady in New Kensington, Pennsylvania, W3BRL.
Good morning to everyone on the net here and to the Brew Crew and the East Coast Reflector, W3BRL. I don't have a storage unit, but back in the day when I was just out of college, I was working for a startup, and I rented so many U-Hauls that I got the pamphlets for free units that I can probably keep a unit for over 2 years. I can't say. I can probably keep a unit for a long time if I needed to. W3BRL, back to net. Have a great day, everyone.
Sounds like an entrepreneur to me, buddy. You have a great day. Steve in Van Buren, Ohio. Van Buren. KC8LGJ.
Good morning. Yes, I have had a storage unit in the past, but it's been quite a few years. So KCLGJ, back to that.
Thank you, Steve. Bill in Trenton, Michigan, up next, N8RWF.
Good morning to everyone on the Morning Brew. This is an 8-hour, especially one time when my basement flooded. But yeah, unfortunately I have had to do that, but I've never retained one. Thanks for the call. It's nice to hear everyone. This is an 8RWF. I'll be clear and listening.
Thank you, Bill. N5OK, Coy, new to the system from Union City, Oklahoma. Good morning, Coy. Do I have an N5 station out there that I didn't acknowledge? N5. Well, how about Steve in Largo, Florida, KN4TTB? Chickawagua, W2SAL.
Good morning, Mr. Mike, Vicky, the rest of the Brew Crew staff, and all the listeners. No, I never had to rent a storage unit. I've got a triple-sized garage here that I've got pretty well packed to the gills, and the wife keeps telling me I got to go rent a barn somewhere and move the stuff there. So with that, everyone have a great week. Until Frank there out in Lancaster, we got snow here in Cheetah, Vegas, and it's just starting to come down a bit. W2SAL, back to Mike.
Thank you for being here this morning, Sal. On behalf of Scott, W2BLT, Miss Vicky, KE8VKY, and our thanks to Dick, WB2JBQ, during technical difficulties for filling in this morning. This is Mike, K2CMT 73.